7 things you should never say to someone you love. Number 1. If you loved me, you would do it. This is a statement you should never mention or say to someone you love. This statement, though might not be intentional, but is said when one wants to get his or her way. When you want the person you love to do what you desire, by all means by trying to manipulate or pressurize them, they feel emotionally blackmailed. Even if you ask that person to do the right thing, making that statement makes him or her feel doubted, misunderstood, or threatened. They take it that you do not understand and you do not love them after all, because if you do, you would be more interested in the reason they have not done what you requested, or why they cannot grant your request. You should not pressurize them by making such a statement. It can lead to frustration and anger, and they end up thinking you are selfish and want the best only for yourself. Rather than saying such to make them feel bad, say something else that would make them feel that you care to know why they do not want to do what you wanted them to do. Ask questions, listen to them, hear their reasons, and let them voice out their ideas and opinions. You can say this: "Why don't you want to do it? I'm willing to hear a reason." Or, "What is your opinion on this issue? Why are you not interested in doing it?" Number 2. You've changed. Though this statement might be said in a caring or friendly tone, the hearer of this word feels different when it is being said to them. They feel you are not comfortable with them any longer, or you no longer love them like you used to, or you no longer soothe their taste, or they will not be accepted any longer, especially when it is obvious that he or she has changed. This person would feel you are pointing accusing fingers at him or her, and accusing or blaming him or her for the change that has occurred in the relationship. You should not tell the person you love that they have changed, even if it is obvious. Take a look at yourself. Think deeply. You might be the one who has changed, or most probably the both of you, and has caused a lack of growth, or has made the relationship unproductive. Whatever has changed in your relationship, or has happened negatively, should not be labeled on one person. Instead of accusing only him or her of being changed, place the both of you in the picture. You can say, "We have both changed. What do you think is happening or has changed the most in this relationship?" Number 3. You can't do it. When you say this, they hear something different. What they hear is, "You are not strong. You are not capable of doing this. You are weak, and others can do it better than you." When you, whom they look up to and seek for support, say such a thing, it makes them feel unreliable. It would affect them physically, mentally, and emotionally when you tell them such, and it would take a very long time and great work on your part, if willing to change, or on others, people's party, to make them see the possibility in them. It would take a whole lot of work for them to believe in themselves again. You should not in any instance say that they cannot do a particular thing. You should either support and make them believe in themselves rather than render them weak or cause a negative mindset in them. You can say, "It might seem difficult, but I believe in you." Or, "You can do it, no matter the circumstances." Saying this makes them active, and having their full support makes them productive and proactive in anything at all. Number 4. You are so selfish. This is most likely to be voiced out in an argument when someone is angry. You might likely say this when you feel you are not being heard or listened to, or when you feel deprived of care and attention. In whatever situation it is being said, It causes a huge misunderstanding between you and that person you are in a relationship with, because it is a judgmental statement. This kind of statement should not be said or voiced to someone you love, because it will make things go wrong in your relationship and affect effective and helpful communication in that relationship. David says, this type of adversarial statement is often being said in the heat of the moment, but beware, it'll box you into a corner, shut down helpful communication, and it's very difficult to undo the damage that it can cause. To avoid causing damage to the relationship, you can rather say, your focus seems to be shifted to something important. Is that true? Or, are you busy or occupied with something? Asking and making statements would bring about communication and peace in the relationship, instead of causing damage by making judgmental statements. Number 5. You are so boring. Instead of saying this harsh statement, why not say, do you think our relationship is going well? Do you think it is best that it can be? How could we make things even better? What amazing things do you think we will both be interested in? Telling the person you love that he or she is boring is a mean and harsh statement to utter. It causes harm to your relationship because it is not only criticism or a statement meant to criticize that person, but also an act of comparing him or her with another. You do not need to mention that someone else is better. Uttering that statement is enough for that person to think that there is someone else you love who is not boring. They feel unloved and rejected, and it makes them emotionally down and also causes pain in their heart. To avoid separation and damage in the relationship, be careful and mindful not to say this word, even when a misunderstanding arises. If you sincerely love this person, try to find a way for your relationship to be the best and also not boring. Communicate with your partner about what needs to be done to create an intimate, friendly, beautiful, amazing, and sweet relationship. Look for the best ways to nurture and develop your relationship. Number 6. Just forget it. Good communication is very important in a relationship. Having clear, real, and understandable communication helps the relationship to grow and create an air of intimacy. It is also important that you both are eager to listen accurately and reply very well in terms of your conversation, because when this is not done, it brings damage to the relationship. For example, in a situation whereby you are discussing with the person you love, and that person asks questions so that he or she could get what you are trying to point at, and all of a sudden you get irritated and say, just forget it. You make your partner feel bad. It might even be in a situation whereby the person you love is trying to explain something to you, but you lose interest in hearing or listening to it, and because of this, you voice out that statement. It is also harsh and meaningful, or she will not be interested to raise a conversation with you when an issue arises, and there wouldn't be good and real communication. So don't say such a statement either out of anger, lack of interest, or irritation. Just be patient and willing to explain what your partner needs to understand. Don't say anything dismissive in the middle of a conversation as a way to avoid talking about something uncomfortable. First, how can they forget it if they never knew it? Second, dropping a conversation midway diminishes the importance of the relationship and makes your partner feel unheard, says Nance. If any case you lack interest in listening or you have something important to do and cannot patiently listen at the time, you can politely say, please, let's talk about this later. I'm exhausted right now. Or, I would love to hear more about this later. Number 7. You are wrong. No one is perfect, and we can sometimes make mistakes or say something wrong. We are all humans. This is to say that the person you love can sometimes be wrong, but it is not in your place to tell them so directly. When you tell them directly that they are wrong, they feel you are undermining them and might lose self-confidence. What they hear is different from what you are trying to tell them, and let them understand. What they hear is, you are stupid, you do not know anything, and you're worthless. This is not what you mean, but this is what they think you are saying to them. So even if he or she is wrong, you can say something better and more supportive like, I think you can do this better. Or, I assume it was meant to be like this. Or, I thought this was a better choice of word. You need to be very careful of the statement you make while communicating with your partner or the person you love. Of course, it is very good that you are free to speak and communicate anything with your partner. But you mustn't say words that would hurt them, or destroy, or damage your relationship with them. Any statement that invalidates your partner's feelings is hurtful.